Hi everyone, it's Diana again, and I'm back for part two of the video on pregnancy and miscarriage and yeah, conception. So in this part, as I said, I was going to actually give you an example of the universe being quite, how can I say, in some ways playing with my very embedded patterns around wanting to control um, things and having certain expectation around things. So I know it's a little bit cryptic, so I'm going to embellish on that a little bit more. Pretty much like I was saying in the last video, leading up to the time of conception, I had a lot of conversations with the soul of my baby, which is one of the reasons why I knew that 2020 was going to be the year where I was going to conceive this baby. And during all of the conversations with the baby, I had a distinct feminine energy that had come in. And so, I was quite adamant that I was going to have a girl, to the point that, even before getting the harmony test, which is the test to determine whether there are any defects in the chromosomes, and also able to actually determine the sex of your child, because the DNA of your child actually runs into the mother's bloodstream, and so from that you can actually check what chromosomes are in there to determine whether it's a boy or a girl. So yeah, leading up to that point, which I think was around about 10 weeks, I had been convinced, super convinced, that I was having a girl, to the point I told my clients who I knew, like who I had told I was pregnant, I told them it's a girl. And I told all my friends and family it's a girl. And had the name, everything, right? It was so clear. And the funny thing was, a lot of my intuitive friends and also a psychic that I go for readings once in a while had also said it's a girl. So you can kind of, tell where this is leading to, right? I get the results back and it's a boy. Now, it was a big shock because I was so adamant that it was a girl. My fiance laughed his head off when I told him because, he had actually said, "Have you entertained the possibility that our child might be a boy?" And I was like, "No, it's not a boy. It's not going to be a boy. I don't even have a name for a boy," sort of thing. Anyway, thanks, universe. You've given me a boy. And one of the first people that I messaged outside of my partner was my shamanic mentor and my shamanic teacher. And he was kind of like, "Yeah, I always knew it was a boy." And I'm like, "What? You didn't tell me?" Sort of thing. And it really raised up a lot of doubt in me, because being in this field, like being in the shamanic healing field, you're fully relying on your intuition, your connection with the source, to be able to tap into someone else's energy and read them, and to be able to identify imbalances and to work to remove those imbalances, right? I couldn't even do it to myself. And so that really raised up this whole thing. And for 24 hours I was seriously going, "Oh my god, am I as intuitive as I think? Because I got this completely wrong. Um, my abilities must be really crap." Or let's just say there was a lot of doubt that was going on, right? And so my teacher was, as he always says, he goes, "Doubt your doubt." And, I was kind of like, but I was so adamant that it was going to be a girl. And he goes, the universe plays, can be quite funny in the way it gives you lessons, sort of thing, and nothing that happens is accidental. And so, there was a reason why initially I had been chatting to the female aspect of the soul of my child, and then now it's a boy. She is a boy. Whether or not my boy will turn out to be, one with a much more feminine side than other boys, I don't know. And to be honest, I don't really care, because I really do want to, see how my child grows, see what type of personality he has, and to just encourage it. trying not to put as much of my beliefs on him as possible, understanding that I'm going to screw up and I will put my subconscious beliefs onto him, but also, hopefully I'll be aware enough to be able to identify that and to still allow him to be and grow into whoever it is that he is supposed to be. So yeah, the lesson for me around that is not to have any expectations, because there's always going to be curveballs. And after sitting with it for a while, what I realized has happened was I had spoken to the soul of my baby prior to incarnation. And so before he decided to come in as a boy, he in fact had been a female in his previous life, and that was the soul that I was communicating with. And how do I know that? When I had that thought kind of come into my awareness, I sat with it and just kind of felt in my body how that felt, whether it was my truth or not. And as I was sitting and feeling into whether or not, my boy right now used to be a female in a previous life, and the communication I was having was actually with the soul of that female, I got a resounding yes. That was exactly what had happened. So in a way, my intuition wasn't off. It was just how I ended up drawing certain conclusions around that whole thing that was completely wrong. So yeah, that was a nice little curveball to have thrown in. And it took me a good 24 hours to get over it. There was a little bit of ego in there, which was playing around and all that kind of stuff. But, I'm very comfortable now knowing that I'm having a little boy, and it's okay, So I kind of just wanted to have this video here to show you that, things can always change. And if we look at physically how an embryo grows into a fetus and into a baby, the different stages of that growth, the sex really isn't determined until that, week, I guess, 8 to 9 to 10 stage anyway. So it's almost like any time leading up to that, it's in some ways can be difficult to predict what the sex of the baby is going to be. So in some cases, for some people, don't get too hung up, that's me, hung up on, the expectation of what your child is going to be. It's more of just going with the flow and accepting whatever happens. So yeah, I hope that's kind of given you a little bit of insight into, what's going on with me. Pregnancy wise, I'm fine. First trimester, I had some morning sickness, but not to the point that I needed to throw up. So it was more just some nausea. But what really hit me was the fatigue. I'm normally a person who does a lot. But during first trimester, if I wasn't working on clients, you would find me pretty much lying on the lounge and sleeping the entire time, because it really zaps out a lot of your energy, a lot of your vitality out of you. Now in second trimester, again, what people say is, you tend to get a second wind, get a lot of energy back, which I find is true. All the symptoms of nausea have gone, and I've gone back into doing at least some sort of gentle exercise in the mornings. So exercise around 15 to 20 minutes of a cardio or a HIIT workout. I haven't really gone back to yoga that much. And yeah, it's really important to also do your Kegels, because your pelvic floor can start to weaken, and my one started to weaken quite a bit. So it only took me a few days and a few minutes of doing the Kegel exercises, and everything else, got back to normal. So that was great. But yeah, with everyone, I think things are really different for everybody. So it's do your research and, see what can happen, but then it's always about trusting what's going on in your body. And if you feel anything's off, then get yourself straight to a doctor or someone else to kind of help you out. For example, when I did the Give Back, Take Back retreat, as part of the integration process, my body broke out in hives and rashes. And, one of the reactions was, okay, go see a doctor, because you don't know what's happening and you are pregnant, so you don't take any risks and all that kind of stuff. But intuitively, I knew that it wasn't something that I needed a medical doctor for, which is why I went to my shamanic teacher and my mentor, and he determined what it was. And once we knew that, they pretty much left me instantly. So again, I would say that, pregnancy is a really good way of getting in touch with your feminine side. And again, like I said, it's something that I've been, working on for the last couple of years, and being pregnant is always a fantastic opportunity to continue to explore that and to bring that through. So yeah, I hope that's helped. If you've got any questions around it, let me know. And yeah, I'll chat to you guys soon. All right, bye.